Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about something most people never question: fruit. We grow up believing all fruits are healthy, all fruits are harmless, and all fruits can be eaten freely. When I say that not all fruits are metabolically equal, I want you to really understand what that means, not in a superficial nutrition label sense, but in a biological, insulin-focused sense, because we often think fruit is inherently healthy simply because it's natural. But your body doesn't care about natural. It cares about biochemical impact and the older we get, especially beyond age 60, the more sensitive we become to those metabolic impacts. Let's break it down. Every fruit carries its own unique cluster of sugars, fibers, and phytochemicals. But it's the ratio between sugar and fiber that dictates whether a fruit becomes a metabolic ally or a metabolic burden. For example, a fruit high in fructose but low in fiber will rush through digestion, overwhelm the liver, and create a rapid spike in insulin. And insulin is the hormone that determines whether your body burns fat or stores fat, whether your cells age slowly or rapidly, whether inflammation calms down or flames up. So when insulin rises sharply, something that happens far more easily in people over 60, your metabolism loses flexibility. This is why two fruits that look equally harmless on the surface can behave completely differently inside your cells. One fruit may help stabilize blood sugar, feed the microbiome, and support metabolic function. Another may trigger volatility, overstimulate insulin, and keep your body in fat, storing mode for hours. The key idea here is metabolic individuality. Fruits don't all hit the same way. Some are gentle, slow to digest, low in sugar, and high in protective polyphenols. Others are sweet, fast-absorbing, and disruptive to an aging metabolic system. So when we say not all fruits are metabolically equal, what we're really saying is this: your body at 60 plus needs fruits that cooperate with insulin, not challenge it. And your long-term health depends on recognizing the difference. As we age, one of the most overlooked realities is that our metabolic flexibility declines . And I want you to understand this the way I explain it in the lab, not in vague, oversimplified terms. Metabolic flexibility is your body's ability to switch between burning glucose and burning fat for fuel. When you're young, this switching is effortless. Your cells respond quickly to insulin, the mitochondria fire smoothly, and your energy production stays stable. But after 60, this flexibility begins to stiffen, just like a joint that hasn't been moved in a while. The decades of subtle insulin spikes, chronic snacking, and high-sugar foods slowly push the cells toward insulin resistance. And when insulin resistance rises, the ability to burn fat diminishes. The body becomes dependent on quick sugars because it can't efficiently unlock stored energy. This is why seniors often feel fatigued, hungry soon after eating, or experience that afternoon crash. They're losing metabolic adaptability. Now, this matters profoundly when it comes to fruit. When your metabolic flexibility is compromised, high-sugar fruits hit your system harder and stay longer. A fruit that once gave you quick energy now becomes a metabolic burden. Instead of your mitochondria smoothly absorbing the glucose, the extra sugar sits in the bloodstream, forcing more insulin to be released. And the more insulin remains elevated, the more resistant the cells become. It's a vicious cycle, but here's the empowering part: choosing the right fruits can improve this flexibility. Low-sugar, high-polyphenol fruits help insulin work better, help mitochondria produce energy more efficiently, and reduce the oxidative stress that drains metabolic function. At 60 and beyond, every bite either supports your metabolic flexibility or restricts it further. So fruit isn't just food anymore, it becomes a metabolic tool, and choosing wisely determines whether your metabolism stays flexible or becomes even more resistant. One of the most empowering truths about aging is that certain low-sugar, high Polyphenol fruits can actually help reverse metabolic damage and I don't mean that in some dramatic, exaggerated way, I mean it in a very real, measurable, biological sense. When you look at the research on polyphenols, antioxidants, and fiber-rich fruits, what you see is that these compounds directly influence the behavior of insulin, mitochondria, and inflammation. 3 pillars of metabolic health, and after 60, those pillars matter more than ever. When insulin has been elevated for years, your cells become resistant. They stop responding efficiently, and everything from fat storage to energy production becomes compromised. But certain fruits, particularly berries, avocados, and green apples, contain molecules that help bring insulin sensitivity back online. It's almost like giving your cells a reset button. Polyphenols calm oxidative stress, fiber slows glucose absorption, and low sugar prevents the insulin system from being overloaded. Together, they change how your cells behave. Your mitochondria also feel the difference. These tiny engines inside your cells are responsible for producing energy, and they are incredibly sensitive to damage, especially from persistent inflammation and insulin spikes. High polyphenol fruits protect mitochondria from oxidative wear and tear, allowing them to operate more efficiently. That means more steady energy, clearer thinking, and better metabolic control outcomes that are crucial as you get older. And then there's inflammation, the quiet disruptor. Many age-related issues, joint pain, vision decline, fatigue, are tied to chronic inflammation. The right fruits contain anti-inflammatory compounds that help cool this internal fire, so instead of fruit being just a snack, it becomes therapeutic. After 60, food truly becomes medicine, and the right fruits don't simply avoid doing harm, they actively work to repair. They support your insulin, protect your mitochondria, and reduce inflammation. In a very real sense, they help your metabolism behave more like it did years earlier.